We are less than a month away from the primary election, and the big ballot on the ballot is the race for governor. Fox 4's Alex Boyer shows us how that fight is building up. Alex.
Hi, Clarice, that's right. You know, Beto O'Rourke is making a lot of campaign stops across the state before the primary election in March. Now, recently he's focused a lot of his attention on the power grid failure last February. Governor Abbott, meanwhile, is pushing back, saying that those problems have been fixed. I spoke to a political analyst about this likely face-off.
All right, thank you, sir.
With 3 weeks until the primary elections, former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke is clearly looking ahead to November and a likely showdown with Governor Greg Abbott.
Making sure that not only are we creating more jobs, but creating better jobs so that folks can work just one job.
O'Rourke held a rally at Paul Quinn Chapel in Dallas Monday. The event centered around the economy, engaging the African-American community, getting out the vote, and the Texas power grid.
Because of his failure of leadership and failure to fix the grid going forward, we are all now paying higher utility bills.
Governor Greg Abbott was quick to push back.
People like Beto who are pushing things like that are just being dishonest.
Speaking at the construction site of a new cheese packaging plant in Abilene, Abbott touted 14 laws passed during the last legislative session he says strengthened the power grid.
And the proof was in the results. The results were that during the height of the demand during this winter storm this past week, we had far more power than what was needed at the highest level of demand during Winter Storm Uri.
And when it comes to the economy, Abbott says Texas is thriving. He says the average hourly rate in the state is $15 an hour, well above the national minimum wage.
There's actually a higher demand for jobs than there are potential employees to fill those jobs, and that will continue to increase wages in Texas.
Well, it's definitely an uphill battle for O'Rourke this time around.
SMU political science professor Matthew Wilson says O'Rourke will have to refocus his campaign strategy, and soon.
I think that the potency of last year's power grid failures as an issue come fall 2022 are going to have waned significantly.
Then there's the issue of electability. Wilson says O'Rourke's star power has faded greatly since his close Senate run against Ted Cruz in 2018, and Texas remains largely a red state.
I don't expect Governor Abbott to struggle very much in getting reelected this fall.
Yeah, and to that point, Wilson tells me he would be surprised if Governor Abbott does not win re-election by at least 8 to 10 percentage points. Again, the primary election is coming up on March 1st.